Alright. Alright. How about I put this in front of me? Feel like my butt? Hi, my name's Mac. I don't have proper lighting and equipment to do this, but it's really the content that matters. I'll just hold my lamp. So, a little about me. I love food and cats. I am an antisocial college student majoring in musical theater. That's it. I am an unintentional comedian. For the most part, I'll just be telling stories about my life and making fun of myself because that's how I cope with the trauma. I also have a rabbit. His name is Scampers, but he's an asshole and doesn't like to be picked up, so you do not get to see him. I also quote memes a lot. I quote a lot of memes, okay? I'm not sure if that's copyright, but I do quote many a meme. So let's just jump right in. Let's start with something fresh. Let's go with Tinder Boy. So, for those of you who follow me on Snapchat, you know all about Tinder Boy. I am just retelling that story with, hopefully, a better camera. So, my boyfriend recently broke up with me, right after I had surgery. Isn't that a great time to break up with someone? Anyway, my boyfriend broke up with me. I've been really depressed. So I re-downloaded Tinder, as you're supposed to when you're feeling alone. And I started talking to this guy. Let's call him Sam. So I start talking to Sam, and he gives me his Snapchat. Now, Sam seems perfect. I have a fucking clump of mascara in my eye. Oh my god. Also, I'm ADD. I have really bad ADD. So when I'm making a video, you're just gonna have to try your best to keep up, because sometimes I can't even keep up. Anyway, so Sam gives me his Snapchat. He seems perfect. A little too perfect. I mean, like, for me, absolutely perfect. He loves music. He likes the same type of music as I do. I mean, I like all types of music, but, like, my favorite is, like, classic rock and, like, oldies. You know, like, really oldies, like Judy Garland, Frank Sinatra, all that jazz. So yeah, and he's been in musicals, and I'm a theater geek, so of course I love musicals. I also make really bad accents. They're not supposed to be racist. They might come off as racist. I am not racist. Except Sam has called me racist. We're just gonna keep going. So, I was really liking him. I was like, you know what? Maybe Tinder isn't such a bad app. So, Sam is like, yeah, I'd love to come meet you. How about this weekend? And I was like, yeah, sure. And he's like, well, I could come Saturday night and stay until Sunday morning. And part of me was like, damn it, he just wants to fuck. But then another part of me, the little innocent part of me was like, no, he just wants to be friends. That was terrifying. So I was like, sure. He lived about an hour away from my campus. He drives on up, we meet. He's fucking hilarious. We're having a good time. It's a fun time. We got food, we chatted, we tried watching a movie, it was really fucking boring and a little inappropriate, made me a little uncomfortable because there was a sex scene. Watching a sex scene with a stranger you just met from Tinder is, you know, not the most comfortable situation. And then it was like 2 or like 1 a.m. and I was like, alright, I'm tired, man. I gotta go to sleep. And he's like, okay. I have insomnia, so I'm just gonna like stare at your ceiling while you sleep. And I was like, okay. I'm like falling asleep, and he's like, come here. And he goes to put me into a cuddle, and me being the awkward little shit I am, I just kind of, and I just put my head into the pillow, and I was just laying like flat on my stomach with the pillow shoved in my face. And then he was like cuddling me, but it was awkward, and I was like, I can't breathe. And he was like, then move your body. And the whole rest of that night, you bet your fucking ass, the whole night, my entire brain was just going, move your body right next to mine. Feel the beat and we'll love some time. So anyway, the whole night, not bad. I wake up a few times in the middle of the night. I sweat a very excessive amount in my sleep. Very excessive. So I wake up in a pool of my own sweat. As usual, poor thing. He's cuddling me. And I was like, oh. And he's like, hi. I was like, hi, I'm sorry, I'm sweaty. He's like, yeah, I noticed. I was a little embarrassed about the amount of sweat that was coming out of my body, but I was like, you know what, that's fine. I changed my clothes, and we were talking, giggling, and chatting, and whatever, and then, I fell back asleep. We wake up in the morning, we're talking, we're chatting, we're having a good time. I don't know why, I was just southern, and he starts getting really close. And I'm not talking like this close, I'm talking like he's getting close. He's like getting intimate. He's close. He's like looking at me. He's like right here. I'm uncomfortable a little bit. I'm just a tad bit uncomfortable, just because I'm like, you know, a stranger is very close to my face, and I don't know how to deal with social interaction. And then he kind of like sat up, he looked at me and he goes, can I kiss you? And I was like, my poor little puny brain didn't know how to speak after that, so I was just like, And he just starts full-blown making out with me. I was not, let me tell you, I was not prepared for a make-out. I thought a little kiss was just a little, you know, a little like, yeah, a little peck. It was like a, like I was not ready. I was not ready. And he's like loving it. He's having a good time. He's being really affectionate. I'm over here like, I'm just taking it because, you know, affection's good. Affection's a fun time. I'm just following his lead. We're just, you know, kissing, whatever, and he's like, oh, I should really go soon. And I was like, yeah, you should. But I didn't, like, want him to go. I was like, I was enjoying myself. And I kind of had my arm around him like this. My lamp is him, okay? This is his arm. And I had my arm like this. So he's like, yeah, I should probably go. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, I'll go. And then he starts to get up. And me, being the little control freak I am, separation anxiety, grabbed his arm like this, and I pulled him back, and then he was like, oh. And I was like, oh shit, I gave him the wrong idea. And he was like, alright. So then he started treating me as if I was his, like, girlfriend of, like, 7 years. He was, like, kissing me, like, you know, like, all over my face and neck and whatever, and I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden, he's like, I think it's time for me to go. And I was like, what? And then he looks at his phone, he goes, yeah, I have to go. Puts on his shoes, puts on his hat, puts all his stuff in his pockets. He's like, alright, got my keys, got my wallet, got my phone. Alright, nice meeting you. Walks to the door, opens it. As he's about to leave, the most iconic thing ever. The most iconic thing a man can do. He's about to leave. He looks at me and goes, deuces. Walks out. I am over here like, what the fuck just happened? Within a span of 60 seconds, it went from, oh, to deuces. Where? Now I'm like, did I do something wrong? Did I freak him out? Did he hear my stomach gurgle in a weird way? Like, what happened? And he didn't message me for like the rest of the day. So at like dinner time, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna message him. I'm just gonna say, you know, hey, I had a good time hanging out. Maybe we could do it again sometime. He sends me a picture of a ceiling. No caption. What? So I was like, good talk. And he was like, about an hour later, he's like, oh, sorry, I fell asleep. And I was like, wow, an insomniac fell asleep? Got you there, mister. Then I was like, well, you didn't answer my question. And he's like, oh, yeah, what was the question? I was like, I said, I mean, like, I'd like to hang out again sometime, if I didn't scare you away. And he was like, yeah, sure, maybe. Maybe. Okay. So I didn't really know how to react to all this. So, you know, we were still talking or whatever, and he was just being a fucking douchebag. And I knew immediately, I knew he was a fuckboy from the moment I found him on Tinder. I should have known he was a fuckboy. Don't thump at me, you little shithead. I love you. Why are you thumping? It's okay. What was I talking about? Tinder. So as soon as I saw him on Tinder, I should have known. Like, that's like a blinking freaking Hollywood sign. Fuck boy. Right there. I should have known. I should have known. And you know what? I think I did know. But part of me was like, maybe he's a good boy. That part of me is a Then we're talking, and I was pissed off at him. He was being a jerk. I hate when people are mean. Like, I understand that some people are really angry. You can be angry. Just don't be a fucking prick. So, he was just being rude, and I was like, I called him a fuckboy. Fuckboi. Fuckboy. Called him a fuckboy. And he was like, he got so offended. So, he called me racist, and then blocked me on Snapchat. And I was like, let me just put this in perspective. Him and I are the same race. So, where did you get the racism part? Where? I mean, even if you weren't the same race, that's still not racism. You were just being a fuckboy, and I pointed it out. I don't know. But apparently I'm a racist. So, he blocks me. About a week later, he re-adds me on Snapchat. And I'm like, don't do this to yourself, Mac. Don't you fucking do it. I added him back. And then he's like, I may have overreacted a little bit. And I was like, yeah. So we're talking, and I was like, because that week was a very confusing week. And I'll get into that in another time. That week was very confusing for me. And I started figuring things out about my sexuality that I kind of didn't know about. So then I was like, all right, maybe I'm gay. yeah. I might be gay. I sent him a video, and I was like, gay. Oh, European. it's hard to guarantee, am I gay or European? And if you guys don't know, that's from a musical, Legally Blonde. I do not own the musical. I'm not sure how copyright works, but I don't own it, and I have not written it. I was just in it one time. Sent like a face. So I was like, you bastard! You lying bastard! That's it! I am no cover for you no more. Peoples! I have a big announcement. This girl is gay and European! And he was like, what the fuck? He was just really confused as to what was going on. Then I made this cinematic masterpiece. Watch.
I'm straight, you were not yesterday. So if I may, I'm proud to say, I'm gay and European, I'm gay and European, I'm gay and European and gay. If I'm okay, I'm gay.
Yes. So I sent him that. And he was like, oh, you're gay? Congrats! And I was like, thanks. It's all thanks to you. He was like, sorry? And I was like, well, you made me realize that I'm gay. And he's like, oh, thanks. I was like, yeah, it was supposed to be an insult, but you're welcome. Oh, I was like, yeah, I've just been struggling with my sexuality. He's like, well, I can help you figure out, like, if you want to have some rough sex sometime, I'll help you figure it out. See if you like dick or not. I kid you not. He said rough sex. Not just sex. Rough sex. Excuse me? Did you really? Like, and you got mad at me for calling you a fuck boy? Oh, man. Anyway, the story is still continuing because I'm a fucking idiot and haven't blocked him on everything yet. Why? Because I'm a lonely little bastard and sometimes I think no one's ever gonna love me, so might as well settle. So, that concludes my very first story. Ugh. There was an extra noodle. Stop thumping at me, you little prick. Stop it! What's the matter? Why are you angry? You don't like the light going like this? Is that your issue? What's the matter? Moral of the story, I am lonely. Stop it! I'm sorry. Moral of the story. What is wrong? Stop. What's the issue? Is it this? Moral of the story. If you're sad and you download Tinder and you meet a guy and he seems like a good guy and you decide to go on a Tinder date, good luck! That's all I needed to do. I don't understand what your issue is right now, okay? Are you okay? What's the matter? What's the matter? You okay?
It's